How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Is Roquan Smith going to put the NFL on notice in 2020 and make his first ever Pro Bowl? Today we're going to be discussing these questions and more in regards to the first round pick, 8th overall in the 2018 draft, in episode 47 of Uncut. Welcome back to the show, guys. I would like to say the grind to 1.7k subscribers is on. We're about 55 away, so if you are new to the channel and you're stumbling upon this video and want Bears content every day of the week, do us a favor and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications whenever we post. And for all of you returning subscribers, do us a favor right now and like the video. I am your host, Chris Maltby, and today I am joined by my co-host, Parth Shaw. How's it going, Parth?
Doing pretty good. Just went shopping for the first time since everything's opened up today. Felt weird to be out, but it felt nice to be out though.
Yeah, so, Illinois is obviously getting better. We're starting to trend towards the summertime, and, everything's just getting better, and I hope it can continue to improve. But we're here today to talk about Roquan Smith. He is a player who came out earlier today in an interview, said he feels 100%. Obviously, we all know he tore his pectoral against the Dallas Cowboys last year. He also, in his interview, mentioned how important year 3 is in the NFL, and also he has been dubbed by multiple members of the national media as basically the Bears' biggest building block, or most promising building block, a player that's looking to improve in 2020 and is looking to obviously make his first Pro Bowl. So before we answer some questions, I'm going to read off a little bit of Roquan stats. They've been really impressive, to say the least, throughout his 2 years in Chicago. Obviously, he was the first Georgia Bulldog ever to win the Dick Butkus Award. That goes to the best linebacker in college football. The Bears ended up taking him over guys like Tremaine Edmonds and Darius Leonard, all of which were very good picks. But I'm sure glad that we have Roquan. So let's look at Roquan's rookie season, 2018. He played 16 games, started in 14. He recorded 1 interception, 5 passes defended, also had 5 sacks, 121 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, and 5 quarterback hits. He also had an interception in the playoff game that year. We know it was a double doink, whatever, but he did have an interception in that game. His ball coverage skills, something that's definitely underrated. Looking into 2019, he missed a couple games for 2 different reasons. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that torn pectoral that he had, and he also missed 1 game for a personal reason, and there's been a ton of stuff online about what that reason may have been, but he only missed 1 game to that. Therefore, he played in 12 games. He started all 12 games. He had another interception in year 2, 2 passes defended, also had 101 tackles in 2 less games played. It's looking like he was set to crush that 121 tackle rate that he had there in his rookie year if he were to play for 16 games in his sophomore year, which makes his year 3 even more promising. He also had 5 tackles for a loss and 2 QB hits in his sophomore season. So Roquan, definitely a player on defense that is going to be one of the primary pieces of the puzzle as we head down the road. We're looking to hopefully keep him in Chicago for his entire career. He's a player who just basically continues to get better, and he's really looking to improve here in year 3. So, Parth, my first question for you about Roquan, obviously, if you look at the Bears' defense, there's a lot of players that are probably underrated. You look at Eddie Goldman, you look at Kyle Fuller even sometimes. You look at Eddie Jackson, who's gotten some hate from national media this offseason. You look at Danny Trevathan, who, even though he has been injured, has been a great signal caller with the Bears throughout time. So I want to ask you, do you think that the national media and people in general are sleeping on Roquan Smith? Roquan Smith before his 3rd year in the league?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't think he gets credit for how good of a linebacker he actually is. Statistically, he's at the top, in my opinion. He's like a top 10 statistically linebacker, and he's playing with such a great defense. He elevated our game, he's missed games due to injury, but I think he's one of the better players on the defense. I recently came out with top 10 Bears players right now on my Instagram page, and I said he's the 5th best player, and I ranked him higher than Robert Quinn and Kyle Fuller. And I personally do believe that just because of how effective he is in the pass game. He's a great run stopper. He does all the dirty work, which is unappreciated on this team, I feel like.
Yeah, you look at Roquan, and he really is a player that I also think is overlooked as well. I mean, you look at the positives from him, he's incredibly instinctive. He's a rangy linebacker. He can really dominate from sideline to sideline and can bruise some running backs and get out there. He does leave running backs with powerful, consistent tackling. He has the speed to play in coverage, and he can also block, tight ends, running backs, even wide receivers. And he's a 3-down impact at linebacker and also has incredible agility. He can stop and start. He can get in the backfield. He can play coverage. He can do anything you want. And Roquan Smith is really a talented player. And when you look at Ryan Pace's first-round draft picks throughout his time in Chicago, they haven't been great. Obviously, you have Leonard Floyd. You also have Mitchell Trubisky. But the best one by far has definitely been Roquan Smith, and he's looking to have another big year here in 2020. So obviously, a lot of players on these Bears, we can make arguments that if they have good years, that they will make the Pro Bowl. But just looking at Roquan's 2019 season, it seems like he's bound for another big jump. He obviously had 121 tackles his rookie year, and in 2 less games played and 4 less games total than what he would have played in the entire season, he only had 20 less tackles. So imagine him, he's a player that normally you feel like he finishes with around, 8 to 12 tackles a game. If he would have played in 4 more games, I think he would have ended up with 135, 140 tackles and absolutely crushed his rookie year stats. So year 3 is looking to be big for him, especially if he can stay healthy. Parth, I'm going to pass it back to you. Do you think there is a chance that Roquan Smith can solidify himself as a top 10 middle linebacker in this league and make the Pro Bowl in 2020?
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind he can, especially with how great our defense is in general, too. He's got all the supportive pieces to help him out to do that. And, as time progresses, I feel like Roquan Smith's going to become one of the better linebackers in the NFL. His rookie season, Darius Leonard made that huge, splash that Roquan Smith, I guess, didn't make. Or, in my opinion, he did make it. I just feel like Leonard might have had a better season, but he's just as good as Leonard, if not better. And I feel like this season he's going to show up and do his thing and show up the national media that he is a top 10 middle linebacker.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anything has been trending anyone's way in 2020, it's really been Roquan. We don't have to get into it, but he's been hanging out with some very special people. But you can go find out who that is yourself. But yeah, looking at Roquan, I said it earlier, he's incredibly instinctive and a very athletic linebacker. And I also have to agree with you that down the road he will be one of the better linebackers in the league. I think there's no doubt in anyone's mind about that. He's a very special player and was a great pick. Vic Fangio spoke highly about him when he was in Chicago here in 2018. And then Chuck Pagano has also said some very good things about him. So not only does he have the supporting pieces on the defense with guys like Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and Robert Quinn, and Danny Trevathan all in that front 7, but he's got the back end to help him out too. I feel like at the end of the day, the Pro Bowl is a little bit of a popularity contest. Obviously we did see Mitchell Trubisky get in there in 2018, and that's not even a knock on Mitch. But I feel like throughout time, the Pro Bowl is meaning less and less, but it's still a good accolade to have regardless. And I think if Roquan can keep up the numbers that he's put up throughout his first 2 seasons, I think he definitely will be able to hopefully make the Pro Bowl. 101 tackles in 12 games, 121 tackles in 14 games in his rookie season. Those are some great numbers, regardless of who you are. Almost broke Brian Urlacher's record, obviously, for the most tackles in a season for a rookie Bear. So looking at Roquan, he's looking to only continue to improve, continuing to go up. There's not much more to say about it. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode number 47 of Uncut. If you want more content from us, do us a favor, head over to our website, beareddown.com. You can find a ton of stuff on there now. Like, we're posting columns, articles, and blogs every day. We're doing a more in-depth positional review series over on there. We're breaking down the salary cap, and we're just reporting on news. We started the website because we wanted another place to basically express our opinion, and you guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already. So beareddown.com for that. Also, if you are on Instagram, and especially Twitter, go do us a favor and follow us at Beared Down. You can find clips from the podcast and some other stuff there. We also announce a couple days early when we're having special guests on the show, so that's another perk. We definitely also have to get our Twitter following up. And then finally, if you are on Instagram, you can find the links to Parth and I's fan pages. Those are down in the description as well. I would also like to announce before I close this one off, we did recently release new merch And we also have a Patreon. So there's a ton of links in the description. You guys can go check everything out that you want to down there. Parshaw, it's been a pleasure to talk to you today. Roquan Smith, definitely a budding player looking to have another solid year 3. Any last words?
Just another great linebacker in Bears history. I feel like, we've had Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, Mike Singletary, and Dick Butkus. I think Roquan Smith's going to add his name up there very soon.
Yeah, a lot of really good linebackers come up when you think about the Chicago Bears. Even guys that are overlooked, guys like Danny Trevathan, guys like Hunter Hillenmeyer, guys like even Nick Kwiatkowski. Like, all these guys are dominant linebackers who have really shown their stuff when they've gotten opportunities. And I'm missing so many. I could name so many more. But that's pretty much going to do it as my dogs get barking. That seems to happen a lot during the episodes. But that'll pretty much be it for us. It's been a pleasure to be your host today. Once again, my name is Chris Maltby. Bears fans, do us a favor, continue to stay safe. And as always, bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.